I ended up drinking alone. So who brought that second glass?
Oh, nice. Paperwork mine included. Let's see. The first Batman Telltale style investigation. You didn't try to clean it before or after the accident. Oh.
Ugh. Did I do this? Sorry, Nick.
I mean, probably. Yeah, I want to get as many clues as I can before I sit there and start making conclusions. I can't make conclusions based on not enough evidence. Oh, here's where that prick's at.
It might have fallen off the table. Seems some people got rowdy last night.
Yeah, because of you.
Ripped. Did this happen yesterday, or was it always like that?
Yesterday, most likely. I feel like this one's gonna be easier, simply because it's the first one. I don't see any other. I might already be done looking for clues. I don't see anything else I can. Oh, wait a minute. There we go.
What knocked this clock off the pillar?
There was a big fight.
These were sent scattering. Someone thrown into them? It seems there was a fight. That could
No
explain the
shit.
blood on my shirt. Does it mean that I was
But
involved?
that much?
I won't be able to find out without more evidence.
Well, I'm about to start reconstructing here in just a minute.
Joel's hat. Maybe we ended up having it out after all.
Oh, Joel was that prick who was talking shit, right? I gotta tell you though, this game really puffed up this guy to be like some practically omniscient motherfucker, but like, he's not. He's a drunken fuck up. Let's see. Oh.
Definitely not the wake Nick would have wished for.
No shit. And it's probably, and even if it's not because of you, people are still gonna blame you.
Hope this wasn't me. Hugh's business card. Wonder why it's here.
Basewood Pharmacy. Drink plenty of water, head for headache. Oh, I can make a reconstruction now.
I think I've seen enough to put together the pieces of what happened last night. Just gotta think it through.
There we go. So you can't necessarily do it whenever you want to.
At least I can always count on this place to make sense. Now to work out what happened while I was blacked out last night. I just need to think it through logically, throw out impossibilities. Until only the truth is left. I know I got into a fight, but it could have played out in many different ways. I have to think it through. Find out what really happened. My memory ends here. But there's two glasses. Who was here with me? I was drinking on my own, and someone approached me. I can't remember who it was, but I know we got into a fight. Obviously.
Someone who knows you and hasn't seen you in a while, but doesn't like you.
If I figure out how the fight went, I should figure out who my assailant was.
I'd say towards the entrance probably.
Broken glass, damaged seat. It's possible the fight made its way over here.
Oh, okay.
Something hit the pillar with enough force to make the clock fall. A person thrown into the pillar would do it.
No, I'm gonna...
Broken glass, damaged seat. It's possible the fight made its way over here. That's
Dennis?
Dennis's. I definitely wanted to shut him up last night.
All that is untouched.
That can't be right. It doesn't match the damage done to the room. Something hit the pillar with enough force to make the clock fall. A person thrown into the pillar would do it. Joel's cap. That's Dennis's. I definitely wanted to shut him up. I have the complete picture now.
Oh? Oh, so it was
You know,
Dennis.
The man who talks to himself has an idiot for an audience.
Fuck off.
Let me pause real quick. I know we're in the middle of this. Here's why I chose Dennis. I just want to point this out. Why did I choose Dennis? Well, let me go over why I didn't choose those first. I didn't choose Hugh because it made no sense, because of the business card. It made no sense for this fight to happen when the business card was left there. So why didn't I choose Joel? Well, two reasons. One, Joel's hat was on the floor, yeah, but his hat was out of the way from any of the damage. Not only that, but also he was a complete prick with it was complete animosity towards whatever his face was, Sam. So why would he suddenly come over and have a beer? It didn't make any sense. Which left only Dennis. That's why I chose them. Plus, Dennis. Honestly, I didn't even remember who Dennis was, but now that I remember that he was such a prick, it makes total sense even more.
I see why you have so many friends left in town.
Yeah, you would know about that.
At least my best friend never slept with my ex.
And that's where the fight starts.
Who do you
Or not.
blame more, huh? The backstabbing asshole or the bitch who...
You don't talk about Anna or Nick that way.
You think you know who Nick was? Mr. Perfect? Give me a break. You have no idea. No one in this town does.
What are you talking about?
I'll show you. Not here. Meet me later at
What are you doing in my bar, you fuck?
Ethan is coming back in
Oh.
through the front. At least I think it's him.
You think it's him?
I can't actually tell if you can't tell. What I know for sure is if it's Ethan, he may not be happy to find you here. So I strongly suggest you leave. And if you don't, well, tell him you're here to apologize about last night. You trashed up his bar and then broke in.
Well, honestly, I think I might just stay. Cause the thing, like, actually, okay, few things. So, first off, this whole glasses guy doesn't make much sense to me anymore because if he's supposed to be in my mind, how the hell does he know about things that are happening in the real world? I mean, I know it's just convenience for the plot, but still it doesn't make any sense. Also, I get that he can probably tell how the fight went and who it was with. I can believe all that. But how the fuck would he know what the fuck they talked about the previous night? Here's the thing about being drunk and why you can't remember things after a hangover sometimes. It's not that you can't remember, your brain wasn't recording shit to begin with. There's nothing to remember. It's like straight up amnesia. You're not gonna remember that shit. But I think I'll stay though, because apologizing for the thing would be first off, but also he could like shed some light on what happened, even though he never mind. He already knows. Uh, I'm gonna leave discreetly.
I don't have time to lose explaining myself to Ethan.
Yeah, downtown baseball. I really felt like Ethan would just get pissed off more so than anything else, and it wouldn't go anywhere anyway. Still though, that's a lot of blood just for a single fight. But I suppose at least he didn't murder anybody. Unless he did, and that's not all there is to
Of
it. But
course. I come back on the town's Miners' Day celebration. Well, you always did have great timing. No time to dwell on that. Focus. You tried Dennis's cell phone. No answer. So what now? Ask around, see if anyone's seen Dennis today. Maybe see if anything jogs my memory. I've heard worse plans.
ha!
Basswood's small. If Dennis came through Main Street, someone saw him.
Another thing I think is very interesting is the fact that the fucking kid Daniel and Max both had powers that affected the actual powers that affected the world around them, whereas Sam doesn't have real power. He kind of does, but his power doesn't effectively directly affect the shit that happens around him. It's all in his head. Oh, I can jog. He'd be 25 cents. I suppose I might as well go in. I'm used to there being bells above the door when you walk into a convenience store of any kind. You're standing right in
get
front
out
of the
the way.
door. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Asshole.
That's enough.
Thanks.
Kathy and Hugh were both at the wake. I should talk to them.
Candy bowl. Ha!
Still here after all these years. She followed Nick to Basswood, but never liked it.
Well, they're not even saying shit to each other. Mr. Hugh. How you doing, Mr. Dude?
Ah, Samuel. Sorry about Richard. He's always a little on edge. I'm surprised to see you up and about after the night you had. Honestly,
Yeah.
I was afraid you'd end up like your friend. You were quite inebriated.
No shit.
Yeah, and I have quite the hangover to show for it. Not my finest hour.
I would say not. After your barroom brawl, I did my best to prevent you from following that other man outside.
What?
I tried to get you to hand over your keys, but you would have none of it.
So he did drive
Sorry
back
about
home. You piece of
The
shit.
man I had a fight with, Dennis. Have you seen him today?
You could have fucking
Me?
killed people.
No, can't say I have.
Thanks anyways.
That article you wrote, it's done this town a lot of good.
How do you figure?
The mine was a band-aid on a torn artery. Sometimes, doing what is unpopular is still the moral choice.
You probably believe that.
I'd offer you something.
I
for the
believe it
hangover,
too.
but I find in some cases, time is the best medicine.
I mean, just water and some ginger ale should do the trick.
Last night was a wake-up call. I'm gonna try focusing on clean living.
Everything is poison. All that matters is the dose.
Yeah, well,
Now, you have a
alcohol is
good
a
one,
poison
young
with
man.
much lower doses than a lot of
Was
other
there
things.
anything else you needed, by the way?
I have to ask, why move here, of all places? You know, here, Basswood. A blink and you miss this town. People move out of Basswood, not in.
The town I used to work in had 100 other pharmacies in it. Oh, you'd make sales. But you don't get to know anyone, ever. Plus, if I'm being honest, I always imagined I'd retire in a small mountain town. Samuel, I saw you talking to Walter. Can you ask him something from me?
I forget who Walter is.
Sure thing. What is it?
I knew I could count on you. I was hoping the Basswood jungle could run a piece about me. You see, some of the older folks see me as an outsider still.
Can't say I'm surprised. I'll try and remember to ask next time I talk to him.
I really appreciated the chat, but I'm afraid it's time I get back to work. Do come see
Absolutely,
me
sir.
again.
Investigation. I got into a drunken fight with Dennis last night. He made some insinuations about Anna and Nick, especially Nick. Challenged me to follow him somewhere. I'd better find Dennis and put the puzzle pieces back together. It's likely someone in town can tell me where he is. Inquire about Dennis. And here's the thing too, is that he got into his fucking car like a fucking moron. So he still could, that blood could still be from a fucking hit and run or some shit. Maybe he fucking ran over Daniel. And I don't understand how we can do that. Okay, here I'm gonna side story. You can skip this if you want to. I've been shit faced off my ass before, like, you know, like where I couldn't stand, you know, where I'd have to lean against the wall because I was too fucked up to sit there and even fucking stand. But even at that point, I'm still coherent enough to think clearly about shit. My motor functions are fucked. I don't have the most common sense in the world. Then again, I don't normally. But like, I could sit there, have my car keys in my pocket when I'm fucking shit faced, and then still think to myself, you know what? If I got in my car right fucking now, I wouldn't be able to get out of the fucking parking lot. So it's probably a good idea for me to not get in my fucking car and to wait until tomorrow when I'm sobered the fuck up, right? That's how I think even when I'm fucking fucked up. That's how I think. So like I imagine I wonder how it is for other people when they get drunk because apparently not everyone can do that. In fact, I think I can't say most people, a lot of people can't do that. Like when they're drunk, a lot of people can't think coherently anymore. But I can. So like I don't know. It's a side story, but it's just weird to me like how people can still get behind the in their car when they're drunk. But then again, like I said, I can think coherently even when I'm fucking drunk, and a lot of people apparently can't. So, oh good God, oh I can actually remember who the fuck people are now. Anna and Nick. Talk about cliches. The moment I left Basewood, my best friend and my ex get together. Honestly, sounds like maybe they were hitting it even before you guys were broken up. And honestly, you know what? I'm willing to bet that's the truth. Because Dennis said, you don't know shit about shit. He basically said that, but he didn't give any more than that because he couldn't. I think Anna and Nick were fucking even before Sam proposed to her, and that's probably why she fucking ignored him. That might be why she said no to his proposal, because she was fucking dicking him around and just fuck it. And if my theory about that is correct, that Anna and Nick were fucking behind Sam's back, then that means that she's a fucking cunt. And fuck her. But of course, I don't know that for a fact, so I'm not gonna say shit about it for now. Or I'm not gonna do shit about it for now. But I feel like that's the truth. I feel like that's what's going on. I feel like she was fucking Nick while she was fucking Sam and dating Sam. Maybe I could have done a little better. Asking probing questions about Nick's death didn't go down well either. One conversation I've already really disappointed Anna again. Fuck Anna. Okay, I'm not gonna do shit about it, but until I'm proven wrong, I'm gonna believe my theory is correct. So fuck Anna. And that's correct, and that also means that my boy Nick here is also a piece of shit. Nicholas Waldron. You don't often make it to the front page of a newspaper with good news, not even in Basewood. Car crash. Walter did a good job on the obituary. Fun fact, when I was a kid, the word obituary, you can imagine how I thought that was spelt. The same town, the same doubts and contradictions. Face it or escape it. This time, I made a different decision. The temptation to embark on another doomed investigation leading to nothing but pain was too strong to resist. Am I doing this for Joan, for Nick, or for myself? Fuck Nick. I'm doing it partly for myself and partly for Joan, because I did make Joan a promise, and I don't fucking take promises lightly. Dennis, this fucking prick. Gardner. Dennis is the IT guy at the paper I used to work for. I remember him as a bitter and mean-spirited guy. A loner with not many friends in Basewood, and in Basewood seems like a place where you wouldn't have many friends to begin with. Or either that, or you'd have or either that, or your whole fucking town is friends. So am I, but it doesn't mean we're kindred spirits. Dennis behaved like a total jerk last night, slagging off both Nick and Anna to me. How badly did I hurt him? Well, I want to see, when I finally confront his bitch ass, I want to see if I can't ask him a question about Anna and Nick, because I think they're fucking. And I feel like finding Nick is going to take Dennis is going to take a lot longer than just one little section of the game, because I'm pretty sure the information he has is pretty deep. Then again, I don't know how long this game is. Hugh. Hugh is new in town, but it seems like he knows how to fit in. Oh, that's why I asked him. Then again, as a town pharmacist, fitting in is part of his job. Still, it's decent of him to have come to Nick's wake. He has a strong opinion on my article, firmly believes it was a good thing, maybe the only one in town. No coincidence he didn't grow up here. Well, people are assholes sometimes. Who? Oh, this is the weird bitch who was saying all types of crazy shit at the bar. I forget exactly what she said, but I know she was saying some pretty invasive shit. Tara Petersdorf. Tara, the office administrator at Basewood Jungle, is the proverbial weird coworker. She likes everyone and everything. Dinosaurs, romance novels, evangelical TV, conspiracy theories, rice cookies, unusual street names, you name it. She'd talk about it for hours. Well, I mean, fuck. I mean, sounds like she's a bit idiosyncratic, but I mean, that's not always a bad thing. Oh, that's Walter. The guy who's a bit too friendly. My old boss at the paper. I'd say he taught me everything I know, but given my track record, that wouldn't be much of a compliment. I always thought Walter was a decent sort. The rare breed who truly believes his job is to serve the community. Seeing the old Joker was nicer than I'd expected. Although it would explain why he was so friendly to him earlier, because he already knew him. Declan Stevenson. I gotta say, for the sheriff, you look like an asshole I wouldn't want to talk to. Declan's the local law enforcement. Wait, the local law enforcement? Is he the only fucking law enforcement? I vaguely remember him from school. He used to get into fights a lot, usually to protect smaller kids. No one was surprised that he became a cop. I never thought he'd be like that with Joan. Things must be boring in Basewood if he needs the thrill of yelling at a kid. Or the contrary, perhaps Declan's under a lot of stress. Ooh, maybe he knows shit. Joan! Is it gonna tell me her age? Like the reason why I'm so the reason why I'm curious about Joan's age is because she looks like she's like 12, but she seems like she's like 16. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm just curious. Of all people I hurt when I left Basewood, Joan is probably the last one to deserve it. Oh, is the one who's least deserved it. She was just a kid, and my goddaughter. What's a goddaughter again? Hang on, let me ask Google real quick. Yet no shit. The fuck's a godchild? Jesus Christ. Alright, I just Googled what a goddaughter was, and my god, I'll tell you what, some of these answers are fucking stupid. Let me tell you this. The first thing I looked up was, what the fuck does goddaughter mean? You know what the fucking it's told me? Goddaughter is a female godchild. Oh yeah, that fucking told me anything. No, that didn't tell me shit. So then I had to look up what a god. Then I looked at, okay, fine. What's a fucking godchild? Since you want to be so goddamn coy about it. And you know what it told me after that? A godchild is relating to a godparent, which still tells me motherfucking nothing. Like I had to search deeper than I reasonably should have to find out what the fuck a fucking goddaughter was. Anyway, and the reason why I'm curious is what a goddaughter was because like Joan seems like she's pretty important to the plot, and so I want to know exactly what her relationship to Sam is. I know they're close, but I want to know what it is. So here's what a goddaughter is, in case you don't know, because I didn't fucking know. It means that he has. So Sam has a. I don't know if it's a legal responsibility, but Sam has a responsibility. I don't know if it's illegal or not though, to kind of help with Joan's upbringing and mentorship. Basically, almost be like a second father figure to her. Basically, I guess you could call him like a legal uncle or something like that. And in the event that something happens to both of Joan's parents, not just one, because her dad's dead, but her mom's still alive. In the event that something happens to both of her parents, Joan would apparently legally be the stepdaughter of Sam. So that's a pretty close relationship. So, yeah. So it gives me an idea of their relationship, which I think is important not only in their plot, but also in when it comes to conversation with Joan in order to how I should interact with her. Okay. So essentially, so I'm going to consider her to basically be his niece. And I have nieces in real life. So I'll kind of do the same shit with her that I would do with my nieces as far as talking to them and whatnot. Well, my oldest niece is actually about her age anyway, so I'll kind of talk to her the same way I might talk to my oldest niece in real life. It's a tough job to be a lonely kid's only friend. I couldn't hack it. Now that her dad died, things are going to get any easier for her. Angry, hurt, stubborn. Hard to believe Joan was the one who nicknamed me Mully. Not that I'm looking for an excuse. I made a promise to a child that will break her heart whether I keep it or not. What if she's right about her father's death? What will that do to her? I don't know what it'll do to her, but I'm gonna fucking tell her. I don't believe in bullshitting. I don't believe in bullshitting kids. I really don't. Shit that a kid might need to know, tell them. But there's some shit a kid doesn't need to know. Like, how much do you make at your job? What's your credit score? Your fucking kid doesn't need to know shit like that. How often do you fuck mommy, daddy? Like, that's none of her business. I mean, she might hear it, but that's none of her business. I'd see though. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest with her about her dad's death. I'm not gonna bullshit her because I feel like that would just be a disservice to her. Let's see. So Joan is in the awkward phase when she's a kid, a teenager, and an adult all at the same time. That's what the fuck I was saying. Grief isn't helping matters. She feels like there's no one in her corner. Well, you're in her corner. At least you should be. One thing I also have to say too. One more thing about Joan before I move on to the others. Is as of right now, Joan is my favorite. And the reason she's my favorite is because she's more innocent than the other motherfuckers. Um, although she lost some of her innocence now that her dad just died. But she's more innocent than the other motherfuckers. But also the fact that she's the only fucking person. Okay, I'm not gonna say she's my favorite. She's my top three. Because Walter and Hugh were also nice to me. Because Walter, and Hugh, the only people who are nice to me. The black bitch was kind of a bitch to me. Anna, she was kind of a bitch to me. Dennis and Joel were both complete pricks. Yeah. I find it interesting, though, that I've already encountered everyone but two of the major characters. So that tells me I'm getting pretty far already and I've barely done shit. Kathy, I am not going to be using her name for real. I'm going to call you Waldron. I'm not calling her first name. Waldron and Nick married young and divorced quick. I'm not sure she's ever really liked me, though I was their daughter's godfather. Oh, she's the mother. Or maybe that just made things worse. Waldron and Joan, I'm gonna call her Miss K. Miss K and Joan's relationship seems fraught with tension. Probably because she was close with her dad and with her sort of uncle, and she didn't give a fuck about her mom, which really sucks because that means that the parent she didn't give a fuck about is the one that's still alive and the one dude, I feel bad for fucking, what the fuck's her face, Joan. How about this trucker prick? All the miners in Basewood lost their jobs when the mines closed. I know better than to provoke them. Ah, that's why he's such a fucking asshole. You point out that the mines were a complete pile of fuck, and so they were shut down, and so these motherfuckers, like this motherfucker, lost their jobs. Well, you know what, dude? Ordinarily, logically speaking, they should be thinking, Sam, although it makes sense from a human perspective why they don't, because humans oftentimes are not logical. What about this last fucker? Ethan! A small town bartender who listens more than he talks. Ethan's bar must be the only prosperous business in Basewood. Well, that's everybody. Strategically displayed to make children feel better. Or like every other store known to mankind, strategically placed that way a kid will go, "Mommy, Daddy, I want some fucking candy. Hey, I want some fucking candy. Those Skittles, can I get those Skittles?" And the mom just gets fed the fuck up with it, and she's like, "Fine, god damn it, here's a fucking thing of Skittles for $1. Jesus fuck." I'm starting to see that this game is also marred by long loading times. I also see there's other people on the streets here. Although I won't be talking to them right now because I'm done for the night. Tracks and Tunes. Anna's favorite shop. She came here every month for the LP section. I don't know what LP is besides Let's Play or Lima Papa. Commemoration banners. Miners' Day Memorial Plaza. Remember and honor. Where apparently the mine was kind of a pile of fuck. So, but then again, I suppose this town relied on it economically. You know, I'll keep going for a little bit longer. Job wanted. Handyman for hire. Flexible hours and pay schedule. Good with tools and hardworking. Fix, paint, move, anything. Won't do roofs or electric wiring. Email. Tyler's shift at whatever the fuck. You know, I gotta say, this place, honestly, I compared, you know, I'm gonna get off, but before I do, this place reminds me of Plattsmouth, Nebraska in a lot of ways. It's like I mentioned earlier. Plattsmouth has you can't really call it downtown. It has a main street like this town does, and it's a single fucking street that you can look at, that you can look left or right. You know, what I would have even done was I would have made, because I have pictures of it, I might have even actually put some pictures in this video about what Plattsmouth, Nebraska's main street looks like. Although I don't really see the purpose because, I mean, honestly, aesthetically speaking, well, not aesthetically, but the concept is just like this. You look left, there's a few buildings down there. You look right, there's a few more. It looks the exact same way. Only difference is that there was actually it was one of those places where there was no parking like that. There was one of those places where you parked on the side of the road, not parallel parking, but like there were little lines to park that were diagonal on the road against the sidewalk, if you know what I'm talking about. And there were a bunch of cars there. They were parked there, and I was standing on a corner, and behind me was a hotel. Because I was going to stay at that hotel, but the hotel was apparently full. And I've never understood how that hotel could be full, because one, the parking spaces weren't filled up, and two, how the fuck are you going to have a fucking hotel be full when it's in a backwards backwater place like Plattsmouth? If you live in Plattsmouth, I'm sorry, but you live in a fucking backwater fucking town. Kind of like this one in the game. Anyway, that is going to be it for me. I'm going to... Well, I don't know. This could continue for all I know. Let's see ya.
Before I go any further with the playthrough at this point, I need to refer back to when I said in the beginning that the sound may change between me and the game. I am now using a new mic, because I'm using a new headset. And so I know for damn sure I'm going to sound different. I don't know how different. I hope I sound clear. I'm not sure yet. Actually I am sure, well mostly. And either way though, I may sound like I'm on a radio. I may sound like I have like a radio, but it is what it is. I discovered the reason for the change. I discovered upon review that the game, while I sounded mostly normal, but I sounded muffled. But the game had a sort of echo to it, the game sound. And so whether or not I sound muffled is one thing, but the game sound being echoey, that's another thing entirely. So I took the initiative to use a different headset, so that's what I'm using now. So I hope the game isn't echoing anymore. We'll see. Either way, I won't be using that. I won't be using that anymore. So no matter what, I'm gonna sound different. I hope the game still sounds okay. I hope the game doesn't echo anymore. And I know I sound different, but I hope it's a either lateral difference or an improvement potentially. Either way, it is what it is. I just had to say that right from the get-go. Now let's go. And his favorite shop. Oh yeah. I already looked at that. I already looked at a lot of this stuff. I've already looked down that creepy alleyway and found nothing in it. Ooh, a restaurant. Oh, Cafe Americana. Dude, oh, Christina's place, only cafe in town. Honestly, it's a small ass town, so it doesn't surprise me it's the only cafe in town. Dude, I love cafes, man. I really do. Jesus Christ. The waitress though could be a little.
Hey, don't remember seeing you in town before. Passing by?
By the way, I may also sound loud, maybe, I don't know. Um, the only person I'm just gonna mention this one time. The only person um that I've spoken to a lot who really mentioned it was Vegan, and Vegan said that I sound perfect like this with this mic volume. So I hope I sound fine and I don't sound loud. If I do, then I do, because I mean, there ain't shit I can do about it until I review this shit. I'm from here. Passing through.
I suppose. I grew up here. Been gone for a couple of years. I'm not staying long.
Wait, you managed to leave and still came back? You'd never see me again if I left.
Why don't you then?
Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna take my millions of dollars and make a run for it. I can barely get by, like everyone else here. Too poor to stay, too poor to leave.
I mean, to be fair, I can totally get. And actually, she's like a simple waitress too, so yeah, so she's probably living paycheck to paycheck. Then again, she did say she was poor. Retrospective, huh? Oh, the history of Basewood. Have you ever wondered how Basewood got its name and went from a small mining camp to the heart that modernized Boone County? Join us at your favorite town hall and find out. I wonder if Boone County is a real county. Either way, that cafe is my next stop.